Okay, so today we are making, this one is a sticky toffee pudding inspired soap. And the reason it's sticky toffee pudding is actually it's one of my very favorite desserts, and we will talk more about that in a minute, but it's going to be kind of cool because I'm going to have these cool embeds that I have dusted with some copper penny mica from Nuture soap. And well, that's about it for the inside, because it's the fragrance oil we're using is a molasses cookie from Rustic Essentials that I have actually added a blend of, not a blend, but I've added ginger essential oil because I didn't think it had enough of the ginger. I kind of wanted to get that, and ginger is the predominant ingredient along with molasses in the sticky toffee pudding, or treacle as they would say in the UK. But anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get this blended up. I already have my goat's milk and lye solution in here and all of our oils, and today we're soaping at around about 80 degrees. All right, so there we go. That is at a nice light trace. And we're going to go ahead and add our fragrance oil and essential oil blend. And I'm gonna mix that in with a whisk. And this fragrance oil actually darkens because it has a 2% vanillin content, which is kind of lessened because of the addition of the essential oil. But I want some of it, so we're gonna separate it because I want some of it to stay a little lighter and some to be a little darker. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and add this, and then I'll separate it off. Oh my goodness, does that ever smell so good? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so hot outside, but I so could go for some sticky toffee pudding. And right now would be the perfect time for sticky toffee pudding ice cream, which is what actually introduced me to the whole sticky toffee pudding thing. Was a ice cream, a limited edition ice cream that Haagen Daz did. Oh gosh, it was a long time ago, probably early 2000s, around about 2006 or 7 or something. Maybe, I don't know, but it was only around for a couple of years, maybe even just a year. And I think it was because of actually I know it was the winner of a contest. Oh wait, I'm gonna distract myself. I gotta get this separated. We're gonna pour off some for our layer that I want to actually be darker, to stay dark or to darken. And then I'm actually going to add some gingerbread brown mica, and I would have used cocoa powder, but I did not have any in my studio, so I found this mica that I have just a little sample of, and I thought it was kind of appropriate, so being called gingerbread and all. So we will add that to this one. And it will darken, but I kind of just wanted to be able to see the definition of the layers right now. So we have that one with the dark so I can tell the difference, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of titanium dioxide to this layer because I actually want it to stay light so I can see what I'm doing. And I know this one will darken on its own, but I wanted to be able to see. All right, so anyway, this ice cream was the winner of a contest they were having for like amateur ice cream makers, and I think it was some lady one who had developed this particular flavor, and the winning flavor Haagen Daz was going to make. So Sticky Toffee Pudding is what won, and they had it around for just a year or so. And there was even a huge like write-in campaign, of which I participated in, because this ice cream was like the best ice cream that you have ever tasted in your entire life. Even if you don't like molasses, which my husband didn't, and my kids, everybody, and they were little at the time and had, you know, like very limited palates, but they loved this ice cream. Not that they got to have it, because we were not very, you know, $4 or $5 for a quart of ice cream wasn't getting split between the whole family. But anyway, this stuff was just amazing, and I can't seem to talk and move at the same time. So anyway, at least not about that ice cream. It was divine. But I'm going to get these opened up, pour off some, and then we'll add our embeds, which are a brown and white swirl. Because this ice cream was a chunky, which is kind of unusual for Haagen Daz. They don't do like chunky very much, or they don't have not like Ben and Jerry's, where all of their ice creams are filled with chunks. Haagen Daz is usually more simple, and this one was not simple at all. The big huge chunks of cake and the gooey like gingerbread sauce, or the ginger, oh, it was so good. And every like around Christmas time, I go looking just in case. We peruse the Haagen Daz aisle, you know, just in case maybe Haagen Daz has decided to bring it back out one more time, which it was the best ice cream ever, so I don't know why they didn't. It must have been really expensive to make, so that's probably why they don't have it anymore. But I'm gonna add just a little bit more of this to cover up those embeds, because I don't want to push them down. I want them to be floating in there. So we'll leave that, and the embeds are going to be displaced, so I have another mold ready to put the rest of this in. And then this is a little too jiggly, so I'm going to leave it for a few minutes and come back and we'll add the second layer. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pour this. It's not really thickened up so that it won't break the fall, but I really don't mind if some kind of drops down in there. It would be look kind of more like the ice cream with the you know, the swirls and stuff that they have in there, so that's okay. I just didn't want it to like mix in a ton, but we'll kind of go and pour just a little bit high so I can get some of those layers down in there. Kind of do a little bit of a drop swirl to mimic the look of the ice cream. It's been so long I can't actually remember exactly what it looked like, but I'm sure if you Google it, you will find something that tells you. I did as much as I could in here in the mold, and then I have the others in like a silicone mold that I have set off to the side that I make into little guest bars. But anyway, so this ice cream actually inspired us to start making a lot of British inspired, or British foods, English foods. We made, you know, the traditional sticky toffee pudding, and I've tried to duplicate the ice cream myself because I make a ton of different stuff, so I can do it, but it just never turned out the same. I mean, it was good, it just wasn't like up to Haagen Daz quality. So we made like Yorkshire pudding, and we were watching All Creatures Great and Small, which is one of the shows that really inspired our farm and got me into researching how to, because at the time we lived in a rural area and we didn't really have a lot of vets around. So I actually learned a lot from that show. And it remains one of my favorites. I think they're remaking it. I'm not sure if you can remake a classic and make it better, or, you know, do it justice, but I hope they do. It's on PBS. I hope I'll be able to watch it someday. This is not really like doing what I want here. It's not firm enough yet to get some good peaks. So I'll probably let it set for a few more minutes and we'll come back. Spoon wasn't doing it for me, so we'll go and see what we can do with the spatula. Alright, so now it's better. It's always fun to play with your soap. And now I've kind of made myself want to go make some Yorkshire puds and drink some tea, which we drink tea anyway all the time, and make some sticky toffee pudding. If the weather would ever cool off and cooperate, that would be nice. I'm going to do a little swirly on the top here. I just wanted to get it mounded up a little higher, so it wasn't hanging all over the sides of the mold. So, alrighty then, there we go. That is sticky toffee pudding, all done. And we will be back in about 24 hours to cut it up and see what it looks like on the inside. So it's been about 48 hours since I cut this one, or since I made this one. And it's actually still a tiny little bit sticky. So I don't know if that's because the humidity is so high right now, because we've had a lot of rain recently. But anyway, it's been a little while, but we were so busy yesterday. I've been trying to, has gotten a lot better. It was difficult for a few. Corgis, we have come to understand, can be quite a challenge with being trained on. Oh, looks so cool. Don't they look cool? They should have, some of them are gonna have more little white swirls and the little dots, and I like how it, oh wow, those look really good. I'm excited. But anyway, Corgis can be a little bit of a challenge getting them to do what you would like for them to do, and they get uncomfortable very easily. Okay, we can see that this is, you can see by the edges right here, it's going to darken a little bit, but it looks like it's going to stay a nice lighter shade that's going to actually more match this up here, which will actually continue to darken even more because we added the mica to that, and the other part we added the titanium dioxide to keep it a little lighter. But I'm stoked with all the, oh wow, see, this one has a little bit more white. They kind of reminded me of like root beer float balls when I was making them. And when I made them, I was just like, I have to make sticky toffee pudding with these. And I just thought it would go really well with that. So each bar is going to have at least one or a couple of the circles on one side or the other. But anyway, we've been training Mina. We've had to work a lot with her. Not a ton, because she learns things really quickly, but we were having some issues with her with kind of like aggressive biting out of frustration, because they get frustrated if they're not doing what they want and they don't like to be uncomfortable and all this stuff. But we've kind of taught her, we've worked with her a lot, and she has improved greatly. Way less biting going on. She's been learning to more be in control of those tendencies, thank goodness. And she's turning into a sweet puppy, and she's just a little over 4 months old now. But it does take time. I work with her a lot if I'm not doing things with the goats or out in the garden or driving, running errands. I am working with the dog. She takes up all my free time. I don't usually watch TV or anything like that much anyway, so it's just encroached in my reading time. But that's okay, because I want her to be a well-trained, happy dog. Because a well-trained dog is a happy dog. Because their owners aren't frustrated with them, and they know exactly what they need to do, and they like to know. And she has a job, and she's learning to fetch. She knows how to fetch, but she's learning to catch. So we want to teach her how to catch a frisbee. I thought that would be kind of cool. So she's learning that. She's learning to herd and sit and stay down. Lots of cool tricks. She hasn't mastered the shaking hands yet. I can't even get her to like give me her paw. But we'll get there. But we were busy yesterday with getting our raised beds full and refilling them, getting them topped up so that we could plant some things for fall. Since we do live in Florida, we're going to try to take advantage of that second growing season if we can. Hopefully there'll be less pests. And I haven't done that since we've lived here at this house with all of our raised beds, but we refreshed them, put fresh compost in. Planted, I already have lettuce and turnip greens and mustard greens and some Swiss chard. We have a couple. One of our raised beds has a greenhouse cover, so we have a couple of tomatoes and the peppers in there with some green beans I just planted, sprout seeds. So we'll see if maybe we can have some green beans for Thanksgiving, fresh out of the garden. Might be too early, but maybe by Christmas time. But anyway, so that is. Let's see, let's get a good one here. That one is, this is Sticky Toffee Pudding, and then it will be available. It has a nice ginger scent, very gingerbready, but with some vanilla and like bakery scents. It's just really good. It really smells like gingerbread, in my opinion. So perfect for sticky toffee pudding, with that molasses, earthiness. Anyway, will be available towards the end of October. By the time I post this video, I will know exactly the release date, and I will post it in the comments. And if you follow us on Instagram, I'll also post it on there as well. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, please think about subscribing. We really appreciate it. And we do thank you all for viewing and watching, and we hope that you have a very blessed day. Okay, Mina, you ready? All right, up, good girl. Down, good girl. Up, good girl. Sit, good job. Good job, paw. Good job. Good girl, Mina, you got paw.